Look over here, sweetie. Smile.
We're making a stellar calendar.
Smile, Heisenberg. She's eating a lot of that blue stuff. What is that?
It's just Gatorade.
Okay, good.
You guys have to come out. I haven't seen you in forever.
I really need to get out of the house.
We can have fun here. This is delightful. We should get one of these above our bed. Look, new neighbors.
Wow.
What do we got?
Is that a fraternity?
Well, good morning, Amanda and Sally. Our Hollywood Happening today takes a look at some very unusual neighbors in the comedy Neighbors. It's about a young couple played by Seth Rogen and Rose Byrne who are parents of a newborn baby, and they've put their savings in their dream house only to have a fraternity purchase the house next door to them. Here's Rose Byrne and Seth Rogen. I was sitting with a group of fraternity frat boys, and they were really relating to those kids, but there were some older people in the audience that could relate to your characters as young parents living next to a fraternity house. Like, oh my God, that must be horrible. And that's really the premise of the story. Am I right, Seth?
Yeah, I mean, ideally, I think almost everyone will relate to some element of the movie. You're either someone who's young and is afraid to stop, you know, is afraid to grow up, or you're someone who's growing up and is afraid to keep growing up, or you're someone who is older and went through it years ago. I mean, I think it's the idea of like not wanting responsibility is like a very relatable one, I think. So hopefully everyone can associate with it.
And Rose, your character, of course, as a young mother with a baby, at first was into it. I mean, it wasn't just his character's idea, but she was right there going to the frat parties and everything else.
Yes, yeah, we wanted to, you know, not have the usual sort of stock female character who's nagging the husband to stay home and to make her as irresponsible and as ridiculous as Mac. So I think it's, for me, really refreshing and like a bit more realistic in the sense that, you know, it's why do we place these roles on genders when really in life it's very diverse and there's lots of different sorts of men and women out there. So.
Well, leading the loud and wild college students is Teddy, played by Zac Efron, and his friend and fellow member, played by Dave Franco. Here's Dave and Zac. You know, Dave, I've interviewed Zac so many times. I don't want to count.
Is that right?
I've watched you grow up
10, 15 under
10 or 15 times.
Yeah. Really?
Least, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
But I was surprised that you were quoted as saying it's your first time doing kind of an R-rated comedy.
Yeah.
Did you learn a lot from it?
A lot. Quite a bit.
Comedy?
Yeah. I mean, it's just, this group of people, like, is pretty unique. And I see how they've made such successful comedies in the past. It's a really, they're very hardworking, really quick.
A lot of improv, as Dave said.
Hyper intelligent. A lot of improv, but the script was fantastic.
Yeah.
Like, our base was great. So it's like, it was like a net. You couldn't fall further than the script. And as long as we sort of, you know, I think within that we sort of had to commit to a certain sense of realism, and our characters weren't very smart.
Teddy and Pete.
Yeah.
Okay. Both in the same fraternity, but comment quickly, different goals in life.
Right.
Which make it funny.
At the beginning of the film, we both have a very similar mindset. We both just really care about partying and getting girls. And then as the movie progresses, I kind of represent the guy who actually cares about his future and who is studious and who sees beyond just his college life. And Zac
said he feels betrayed by that.
Right.
Because he's like fought tooth and nail for this moment, and to see his friend looking past that is like scary.
Rat broke into the car and stole all the airbags.
So weird.
Why would they just break in and steal the airbags?
I don't know. We should follow police. Delta Psi has the upper hand.
Come get some. We're throwing a Robert De Niro party. Should be pretty loud.
You called the cops, you violated the circle of trust, Walker.
Just go.
You're upsetting Jinxie Cat.
What are you gonna do?
This is our home.
It's our home.
I'm a mama bear.
Claws are out. I have a darkness inside of me, and you will see it.
Dude, we missed the airbag.
What do you got in your mouth, sweetie? Is that a balloon?
That's not a balloon! Jesus!
She's fine. You guys are free to go. Do you guys want the condom to take with you? I don't know if you still want to use it.
Well, in Neighbors, the comedy really gets wild and crazy when the newlyweds go to war with their new frat house neighbors. However, both have something in common. That's moving on to their next phase of life. Well, I screened Neighbors at the U of A, and I have to admit I got caught up in their energy for this film. At times, it's very hilarious. Remember, it's an extreme adult comedy that's rated a hard R. My grade, a B-. Well, also opening today, a couple of comedy chefs starring Robert Downey Jr. and Scarlett Johansson, Mom's Night Out starring Sarah Drew, and the drama God's Pocket starring the late Philip Seymour Hoffman in his last feature film. I'll see you right here next Tuesday on The Morning Blend.